Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Prana celebration for 2021. Gearing towards the International Yoga Day, I'm Dr. Smita Prabhakar, your host for the event. Welcome to this journey, this amazing journey, which is going to help you to shift towards a holistic yogic lifestyle. Yoga is a journey of the self, through the self, to the self. Prana, a blissful world. Prana is a 15K member platform dedicated to the yoga, where yoga gurus, fitness experts, enthusiasts from various parts of the world come together. Prana aims to carry forward the virtues of yoga to the masses. Prana encourages everyone to have a healthy lifestyle. Yoga is the finest way to connect people around the world, and through Prana, we aim to promote the awareness of health. In the present norm of social distancing, our aim is to bring yoga to the comfort of your own homes. Today's topic, very interesting topic, compassion, a word with so much of depth. Compassion gives us the ability to understand someone else's situation and the desire to take action to improve their lives. And for the people who are dependent on others for help and support, compassion is often the most important factor in allowing them to lead fulfilling lives. So, how do we look at compassionate communication with yoga? That's today's topic. Our guru today is going to share us deep insights and knowledge on how to achieve sustainable relationships through compassionate communication with authenticity. Before we commence this event, let's start this evening with a prayer.
ॐ संगच्छध्वं संवदध्वं सम्मो मनांसि जानताम् देवाभागं यथा पूर्वे संजानानामुपासते. May you move in harmony, speak in one voice, let your minds be in agreement, just as the ancient gods shared their portion of sacrifice.
That was a beautiful rendition. Thank you, Malavika. Now it's time to introduce our special guest for the evening, His Excellency Salim Yusuf Al Qasir. His Excellency holds a bachelor degree majored in history from University of Cairo, Egypt. He has been holding the position of Head of Labor Standards Development Authority in Sharjah since 2015. Throughout his 30 plus years professional career tenure in the field of higher education, Mr. Al Qasir also held various higher administrative positions in the UAE universities. He joined the American University since its inception and in 1997 until 2015, where he gradually assumed different positions, starting as the University General Affairs Director, Assistant to the University General Affairs Director of Deputy. Previously, he worked for United Arab Emirates University from 1980 till 1997, a period during which his positions here as follows: Head of Scholarship Sections, Director of Public Relations and Housing Department, Director of Public and Cultural Relations, University Deputy Director for Community Service Affairs. He also held positions in the academic management, where he was appointed as the chairman for the Academic Office of Sharjah Emirates before joining Labor Standards Development Authority. During his tenure, Mr. Al Qasir took part in representing the universities in various committees inside and outside the UAE. Furthermore, he took part in organizing educational and cultural conferences and symposiums, in addition to taking part in several other training courses for the higher education leaders and officers inside and outside the UAE. Currently, he's the head of United Arab Emirates Sports for All Federation. He also serves as a member in the Sports Union for Higher Education Establishments until 2015. He's also a founding member in the so-called previously Sharjah Sports Council. Mr. Al Qasir also took part in many other fields, member in Tamiyaz, and Falak Type Award for Financial Resources, and a member of Ramadan Festival in Sharjah. That's a quite handful of list. Now, I would like to invite His Excellency Salem Yusuf Al Qasir to address the viewers, and it's our great honor to have you here, His Excellency.
Thank you. Good evening for all of you, and namaste. I congratulated all the organizers of International Yoga Day, 2020, a 14-day festival from June 8th to 21st of June. It is a proud of me. It is a proud moment for me to join you all today to deliver a few words to you. On June 21st, 2015, the United Nations declared this as International Yoga Day. And this year we celebrate its 7th anniversary. Yoga is an essential science that has been around for thousands of years. It is a philosophy of mind, body, and soul. It is the union of the mind and the body by use of the breath. Nowadays, people all over the world practice yoga and as a healthy way to keep their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. I can use the glasses. Spiritual levels through proper manner of breathing, yoga posture, and meditation. So my advice to all of you, practice yoga daily and stay healthy. I'm sure you can achieve your aim and get what you want in the life. Thank you all for inviting me to participate in the wonderful celebration of International Yoga Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, His Excellency, for your kind words and your description about yoga. Really, really honored for your time, and thank you once again for you to have to be here with us. Thank you. I would like to now take the opportunity to let the viewers know that around 8 o'clock, we will be opening this segment for Q&A. And if you have any questions out there, please do put the questions in the FB and Instagram chat box, and we will take as many questions as possible and to answer it live. Now, all what you're waiting for, introduction of the Guru. Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Alia Al-Awadi from UAE. She's an academic specialist in the Ministry of Education and the founder of Tawassul Al-Latif Foundation for Compassionate Communication. She's practicing self-healing and compassionate living and is also a life coach. She has been practicing yoga for 20 plus years. Assalamu alaikum, ma'akum Alia Al-Awadi. Minal Imarat, Mutaribbat Hayat, متخصبة في توسل اللطيف صاحبة مؤسسة التوسل اللطيف اختصاصي أكاديمي في وزارة التربية والتعليم رسالتي في حياة مساعدة الآخرين على تحقيق الانتفاع وطنكم مع الحياة. Welcome, Ms. Alia.
Hello,
Stage is all yours.
hello, Dr. Smitha. Thank you very much. I'm really surprised of your Arabic. Thank you. And I'm so happy of the prayer that Malivika she started with. And thank you, Mr. Salim, for joining us. I'm so glad to be here to join the people all around the world. I feel really it's a blessing day to be with you. So I'm going, shall we speak in Arabic and English?
Yeah, you can have a mix of both so that we have both the audiences. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. So معكم علياء العوضي. دكتورة سميثة قدمتني بالعربي على السريع. معكم علياء العوضي، اختصاصي أكاديمي في وزارة التربية والتعليم، مدربة حياة وبالأخص متخصصة في مهارات التواصل اللطيف. التواصل اللطيف هي كانت رحلة بالنسبة لي، اكتشاف للذات واكتشاف عالم جديد ومختلف وصناعة حياة تتناغم معي، ومن ثم أصبحت رسالة لي لأنقلها للعالم العربي والآخرين أن التواصل اللطيف هو الذي يجعلنا أن نحقق ما نريد وأن نكون ما نريد. أشكركم على الانضمام. Now I'll switch to English. Thank you very much.
Yes, please go ahead.
I'm علياء أحمد العوضي from UAE and from Sharjah. I am a life coach and academic specialist from the Ministry of Education more than 20 years. And I specially train people on the skills of nonviolent communication, which is compassionate communication. And that has been a journey for me, actually, where I discovered a new life. So it was like an awakening for me to become compassionate. That means I was not compassionate before. So it's a life journey. And then it became my mission in life to help people to have a compassionate life that is aligned with them and being themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Alia. This is a subject where all of us are quite compassionate. They do not know how to communicate with compassion, right? This is a very, very, very specialized subject. I know your depth into the subjects. And we all know that we pursue a healthy and loving relationship. But with the kind of environment what we have, is that possible? And could you please shed us some light on that?
Yeah, compassion communication. Actually, first I would like to mention that it comes from Marshall Rosenberg, is a psychologist from Washington, and he has a center. Actually, it's called Nonviolent Communication. Nonviolent communication, compassionate communication. Actually, it's a language of life. It's not just a tool. It's not just a technique that we needed. It's more than a skill that we train ourselves for a while and we leave it. Actually, it's a journey. We take it. Compassionate communication helps us to have first relationship, a good relationship with ourselves. That's what we always aim. We can't make relationships successful with others if we don't have that kind. Then that relationship spreads to all around us. Family members, for mothers, if I am a mother, if you are an employee, if you are a manager, if you are in all our relationships, me, what we call it, me and the others all around us. So compassionate communication, it's, as I said again, it's a language, it's a life language, and it is a journey.
Yes, absolutely right. It is a journey because unless we try and experience and actually practice it, and this is something which we can develop as well, right? Saying we hurt ourselves by being not so good to us, by saying that, oh, you're not good. So it's a lot of communication. There's internal talk and narrative which goes inside us, which is still not sometimes it's not so good for us. So we need to be, as you said, compassionate with ourselves. And then, you can be compassionate to the world. I think life starts from within to the outside. And thank you so much for sharing that wisdom with us. And can you please share some details about how can we ourselves improve without struggling to have the compassionate communication?
We can connect this. How we can't struggle. First, we need to learn more about compassion communication. Here, when we say compassion communication, maybe so many clients or who is listening to us will pop up in their mind: is there a no compassion communication? Or as we say, when I first heard about non-violent communication, the first question popped up to my mind: is there a violent communication? And what we are talking about here, it's not the physical abuse, but it's the verbal abuse that we use. It's, as you said, also the scenario we always have in our mind. So if you don't mind, I can present here the form of the violent communication and non-violent communication.
Please.
The compassionate communication, it's any communication that is within, inside the what we tell ourselves from inside, that the sound that doesn't stop. It should be without no criticism. Sorry, there's no criticism, no judgment, no opinion, no generalization, no conclusion, no feeling guilty. So this is compassionate communication. Any sentence has opinion, has judgment, has a criticism. This is violent communication. So it's even the words we say to ourselves.
So while observing that, I think people have to really be aware and observe themselves. When am I doing violent communication? When am I not doing violent communication? When my compassion is so the deep awareness to self is so important at this point of time. And with your so many years of practice in yoga, you must have surely developed that kind of an awareness, deep awareness within yourself. That's why you're able to like share this wisdom to others. And how can you, integrate the practice of yoga, of deep awareness and meditation and mindfulness? All of these are creating more of awareness. And how do you combine this compassionate communication with yoga? Could you please share some details on that?
Sure. Actually, to practice yoga, first thing you need to be compassionate with yourself. Here, when we do yoga, and as a beginner, I went to yoga. I remember I was comparing myself with others. I was not patient with myself. I want to reach that excellent level of the pose quickly. So that was not compassion. So when we practice yoga, we need to practice communication within ourselves. Even when we are alone by ourselves, we keep criticizing. My breath is not going good. Today I didn't do good. I compare myself, or when I doing yoga, comparing myself to other person who's practicing yoga, for example. These things are violent communication during yoga. Yoga needs to be compassion. Many people practice yoga, but they say we don't reach that level of peace. We don't reach that level of harmony, self-harmony. Because the words they are telling inside themselves, maybe they are not aware of that, Dr. Smita. Maybe unconsciously they do that. The voice inside that scenario goes inside their mind is keeping judging everything, judging how they look, judging a tiny mistake they did. So really, compassion communication must go in align with yoga. If you want to do a good yoga, you want to reach that level. Yoga is a journey also at the same time. It's not just an exercise I'm practicing. It is a journey, as well as compassionate communication is a journey. They are very correlated in a term that when we do yoga, we need to be so compassionate.
That's a beautiful and profound answer, Ms. Alia. Often, as you said, with the influx of the social media information, and we're seeing all the Instagram models and the teachers doing extreme acrobatics and say like, I can't do that, I can't do this headstand, I'm not able to do these kind of positions, the peacock position. So people are really always comparing. And I mean, as you said, the first step is about compassionate to yourself. And when there's a journey, some people might take the journey short, and some people it could be longer, right? So how can they even compare it? And also depends on their background, where they come from, their physical fitness. So absolutely right. This is like a very, very, very valid information, because this is one major thing why people don't jump into even starting yoga, because they get so worried about saying, oh my God, all this acrobatics, and it's not possible. As you said, step by step, and you will learn through the journey. Thank you so much for that answer. And I have the next question. Can we touch our authenticity and show it that you can be still loved and accepted by communicating what you want? How do you bring in authentic communication? You need to tell, like, what is right for you, but at the same time, how can you just make your point across without being judged or criticized?
Actually, being authentic or bringing authenticity to ourselves and our relationship, we can say it's the main target of a relationship, or to have that harmonious life streams. How we can do actually in compassion communication to reach that level of harmony or authenticity within two levels. Compassion communication occur in two levels. The first level is intention. The second level is the four skills of compassionate communication. The first level, Dr. Smith, is very important. We can't skip it. Intention, we know that it's becoming a science. Intention, actually. This intention. Many people may jump to go to the second level, which is applying the four skills, practicing, but they keep saying, we are not getting the result. We tell them, go and check your intention. And when we say intention means, do I really have that clear, strong intention to practice nonviolent communication? Sometimes we change, and that's normal. Again, I want to say for all people, in any time that your intention shifted, that is normal. We don't have to criticize ourselves. So first level, we have to set an intention. Intention becomes our mission in life, by the way, that I have to be compassionate with myself and others and turn all challenges, all difficulties to compassion communication. Then it's coming what? The four skills that we need to apply them all the time.
Amazing. If someone is like coming in new to the space and where they've been running, their lives have been so chaotic, which we see, you just ask somebody, no time, as a name, they're like, so busy, I don't have time. This is exactly what people say. They're really not having time for themselves and to others as well. So in this stage, in this chaotic world, what is the first step what simple, easy step for someone to start developing this compassionate communication?
Well, the first step, I always say, and it's the quiet, we say it, it's the simplest, but the quiet, the most challenging one. It's to be an observer. Actually, to be an observer, even in yoga, we need it. So in this all challenge, the person who's coming, this all chaotic world, as you said, and the first step we say, practice observation. And this is the first skill of compassion communication. What does observation mean? Means that you need to be, as a person, neutral for yourself and around the others. And it is challenging, but it takes us, it's the most important step, Dr. Smith, and who's listening to us, I really encourage them to practice observation for the whole week, even if you are doing yoga. What does it mean to be neutral? It means that I am out of the situation. I just report what I see and what I hear without putting my opinion, without giving what do I think, without criticizing what I heard, what I saw, without giving my opinion, without giving judgment. That is the first step. And this step, it's the crucial one, because we all human beings, actually, we all are in the state of reaction. Observation, training or practicing observation takes us from the state of reaction to the state of response.
Absolutely. That's beautifully said, Ms. Alia. So, I would like to ask one simple question. Okay, we practice mindfulness, we practice meditation and yoga, but at some point of time, even though seasoned practitioners or gurus, they still come across such people who can really trigger them, right? Because the other people would come in with so much of anger. So, in this situation, it's not very easy immediately to just come into the compassionate communication mode. Would be an easy technique to immediately put a stop on the thoughts and reacting to them rather than responding? What is that? The first step one should do, because when someone gets angry, we don't think, right? We just immediately start jumping into either conversing with them in a wrong way. What would be your take on that, and how do we implement it right away?
The first thing, what I do actually, when I combine compassion communication as in practicing or yoga, is I take a pause. I take a pause and I go deep inside myself. When I go inside myself, first I practice observation. After practicing observation, I define my feelings. This is the second skill of compassion communication. So, observation, I just write down or tell myself what I saw, what I heard, without giving my opinion to the situation, without criticizing. Then I define my feeling, how I felt. Then I just exactly define my needs. What did I need? Why these feelings arise? What do I need? Actually, feelings, we always call them, they are the colors of our needs. And I encourage the who are joining us to look to Maslow hierarchy for the needs, and they need to make a list of vocabulary of feelings to define our feelings. It's very important. Without defining feelings, knowing our needs, we can't really have that compassion communication with ourselves.
Great. I'm just asking about in that particular situation, I think it would require a bit more training for people to even understand their needs, or they could possibly understand their needs way before, or take some kind of a process or go to a coach and understand, like, what are my basic needs in life, right? Then it can come in very quickly, because sometimes in an anger situation or in a situation when if you don't communicate, what happens, the other party would think that you're meek, you're submissive, you have no words to say, by the time you come across this thing. Please throw some light on how can one understand all these information about themselves, or be aware of them way before they get into that situation, so they can immediately start using these techniques right away.
Well, let's agree on something, Dr. Smitha, here. Actually, in this life, we are always learning. Even the gurus, they get the ups and downs sometimes. So the first thing I always tell people, even if you are the guru, even if you are the professional, even you reach that highest level of awareness, sometimes things happen. So the first thing I tell you, stop judging yourself. This is the first thing we can do, even without practicing any of the other levels or the other skills of compassion communication. We need to practice stopping judging ourselves, Dr. Smith. This is very crucial thing. People directly go to accuse themselves that we did that, and what others will think of us. And that is not an easy point. Not to judge yourself. We are always at that level, judging ourselves. Even in the case of love, by the way, even sometimes in the sweetest cases, we keep judging ourselves that maybe I did a stupid thing. Maybe the word I said, even although we say the nice word. So many people say, I love you, then say, oh no, I look so stupid when I say I love you. So the first thing, stop judging yourself. And when you stop judging, at the same time, you are like tapping on yourself, giving yourself that hug. That needs also a practice It needs a practice, a long time practice, and it needs an intention to stop judging myself. Then it comes, I'm sorry for cutting, then it comes gradually practicing observation, practicing identifying the feeling and the needs.
So beautifully said. I mean, it's so profound and deep, and with your knowledge, and you're able to take it from different perspectives and share the information with us. And I'm sure, like, when we hear people talking like either you're stupid, you're this, you're that, and we make that our own reality. And then we name ourselves that, and as absolutely beautifully said. And I'm just making a brief of what you've said, and then you need to just say that this is not me. I'm not judging myself. His belief about me is not my belief. It's not my reality. So why do I have to believe that? Right? Absolutely. At the moment they think that they should be able to actually take a pause. So beautifully said. Thank you so much, Ms. Alia. Really, really appreciate your time and so for your pearls of wisdom, for your 20 plus years of work in this space. And you yourself is such a beautiful, compassionate communicator. When we had this conversation, I was just telling you.
I find myself so blessed to be in this day. And thank you for Dr. Deepa when she asked me to do that presentation. I was so excited really to join. And I'm happy to meet people all around the world who is here. You are all a treasure. Every person who came here and gave a time to attend, he is so treasured and treasured. Thank you very much. And thank you for the beautiful young lady who gave us her prayers. And thank you very much for you, Dr. Smita.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your time and sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you once again, Ms. Alia. Great. Now I have a beautiful segment, just in line with the compassionate communication. How do we integrate that with yoga? So we have a beautiful group, Skanda Yoga Center, who is going to demonstrate how compassionate communication can be achieved through yoga with a few curated asanas. Ms. Seema and Skanda, they have been really instrumental in providing well-being programs based on traditional yogic practices and naturopathy. How to align your body and mind using the natural herbs and holistic practices, syncing ancient Vedic techniques, which are scientific and proven modalities for the benefit of humankind to develop a compassionate, stable mind, along with a healthy lifestyle, which is their goal. They train individuals from the education and the corporate sectors with their tailor-made well-being programs. Skanda Yoga believes in spreading the awareness about the healing power of nature and natural ways of distinct healing philosophy and practice, which promotes health by using body's own life force and inner protecting mechanism. I would like to welcome Ms. Seema Nambiar and the Skanda Yoga team to do the demonstration right now.
Namaste,
Namaste.
From Skanda Yoga.
Welcome.
On this occasion and the celebration of International Yoga Day week, we here at Skanda Yoga are presenting some specific asanas, self-loving asanas, which boost the body's loving mechanism and how to bring the compassion in it. Here, to invigorate the compassion and a stable mind, there are certain specific asanas which has been mentioned in our ancient scriptures. Today, we at Skanda team, we are presenting those specific asanas in front of all of you. We start our journey with the Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. Darshan and Shubha will be taking us to this journey. Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. This is a cleansing technique in the Vedic system. start our journey with. We start our breathing from one nostril and breathe out to the other nostril. This pranayama calms and focuses the mind and relieves stress and anxiety and also stimulates the lungs. This is the practice to self-love. Now, slowly, we are getting into the Uttanasana, that is a slight variation of Uttanasana. This particular asana allows the body to ease the physical tension and slowly it gets melt away. It also helps to decompress and lengthen the spine and increase the flexibility. You must give your body the time to relax in this asana. You be in the relaxation position. From Uttanasana, we can slowly come back to the Natarajasana, that is Lord of Dance pose. This asana or this pose creates a beautiful shape and builds self-confidence. It also activates our heart chakra, which is responsible for our ability to love and be loved. This pose balances and strengthens our lower body and provides a full body stretch. From Natarajasana, we come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana is a gentle inversion which gives and stimulates to stable the mind and cultivates sense of love. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, we slowly move into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, which is a wonderful heart opener, and it helps to undo the detrimental effects that our sedentary lifestyle have on our postures. It opens the chest and strengthens the arms and the back. From the Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, we come back to the seated position, that is Paschimotthasana, which gives a complete stretch and it gives a calming effect to our nervous system. From the Paschimotthasana, we come back to the Viparita Karani. Viparita Karani is a pose where the legs are up and you can take the support of the wall if you require. And this is a restorative and a deeply relaxing yoga pose, which gives you many benefits. It relieves stress, improves the circulation, and it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. From the Viparita Karani, we come back to the Balasana, that is Ananda Balasana. As the name states, it's called the child pose. Balasana gives us the happiness as a child when you wear, and giving the happy moment and show the gratitude to yourself and to the universe. And from Balasana, we are getting back to the most important part, that is Shavasana, the core.
Ms. Seema, if I could interrupt and say that if you could come closer to the mic, your audio is a little less.
Shavasana, or the Shavasana is a very important.
Not very clear. If you could just come closer, we could hear your audio earlier.
Yeah. Now, Shavasana, we got into, this is the final resting pose. It's one of the most important poses in our practice because Shavasana helps us integrate the benefits from our earlier practice, what all asanas which we have done. That's the reason.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Shavasana is the final resting pose. It's one of the most important poses in our practice because Shavasana helps us integrate the benefits of our practice in our body and mind. One should not skip this pose. Why? Because it calms the nervous system and it cultivates the mind and body relaxation, hence the relief from stress and anxiety. Having to lie in this complete silence for a few minutes trains you to leave your thoughts alone and simply enjoy a few minutes of peace. While Shavasana, it can be the time to help answer questions which you have within yourself. You can ask the question and surprisingly, your body will answer it. You just have to prepare your body before getting into the Shavasana and just wait there as you breathe in and you release. Breathe out. Let the body speak to you the answer. This is why Shavasana is actually the most important part which no one should skip. So here comes the certain specific asanas as we do. Thanking you for this wonderful opportunity and thanking everybody that we are being part of Prana during this festival.
Thank you so much, Ms. Seema, and for the Skanda yoga team to share this knowledge with us, and so amazingly and beautifully have curated those particular poses which connects to compassionate communication. Such a beautiful combination. Thank you, Ms. Seema, once again, and the Skanda Yoga team for joining us. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Now we come to a point. I would like to invite a great an inspirational personality to do the felicitation speech for Ms. Alia. Dr. Pratibha Rajesh. Dr. Pratibha is the joint convener of Prana 2021. She has also served as a chairperson of Prana last year. By profession, she's a naturopathy doctor. For the last 21 years, she is the resident of UAE, and her professional degree is from Mangalore University. And she's been working in different UAE health sector for almost 2 decades. And Dr. Pratibha is presently running her own naturopathy center, Ayur Yoga in Sharjah. With great honor, I welcome Dr. Pratibha Rajesh to do the speech. Namaste.
Namaste. Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure that Prana has given me opportunity to talk on this auspicious occasion of this International Yoga Day 2021. Last year, we celebrated very grand success. And this year also, it's going very well. And all great information we are sharing to the whole world. And on behalf of Prana, I thank our chief guest, His Excellency, Mr. Selim Yusuf Al Qasr. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge. And I thank Miss Alia Al Awadi. She's my best friend and great teacher also. Thank you, Miss Alia, for sharing her knowledge. And it was so pleasant, and it was so graceful moments of yoga. Skanda Yoga shared. And that's real motivation for all yoga lovers all over the world. And yoga is not just an exercise, it's a correct way of living. So during this pandemic time, this yoga is like a self-protection and self-care. And I pray to God, may God protect everyone. None should suffer from any misery. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. And before you leave the space, Dr. Pratibha, it's very rare that we get to speak to you. I just wanted to ask you a few questions on how was your journey, right? Because you have been a proponent of yoga for so many years, and also you've been connecting a lot of people together. So kindly share us some more details on your journey to yoga and how it can help the world, especially in this situation.
Yeah. As yoga is not just a exercise that helps in purification of the body and mind. And some people think yoga is just a exercise. So if you want to cleanse our body, yoga helps to cleanse. And that is, in olden days, there was no much in modern investigation like now. So in those days, the main cleansing technique is to cleanse our body by nature's calls, not with any purgatives or any laxatives. So daily, if we are passing motion daily, so our GI, gastrointestinal tract is cleansed. So half of our problem is solved in that way. We say gut is our second brain. So when here in UAE, most 70% of people is suffering with any type of gastrointestinal disorders. So yoga helps a lot to overcome this anxiety, gastritis, and other digestive disorders also. So it helps. Other practices are there like Kriyas, Jalanedi, Sutranedi. So during this pandemic time also, some studies are showing that Jalanedi is helping people to protect from other viruses, coronavirus and same time, in my experience, I teach in an integrated way, not just yoga. We emphasize on natural diet and cleansing. First and foremost is purification. So we do the purification method first, then we strengthening the body by giving healthy, nutritious diet and lifestyle modification. So yoga is a science which brings wellness to everyone.
Thank you so much for this answer, which covers completely an integrated holistic approach by using yoga, by taking care of our gut. Absolutely rightly said. Even before we go for panchakarma or any deep Ayurvedic treatments, all the doctors, they ask you to detox your body, right? Remove all the toxin, and then we can give you the herbs and the treatment. And gut is like a second brain. And I, as you being a naturopathy doctor, I would like to ask you, what is your take on the Ayurvedic or naturopathy remedies to just make your immune system stronger? And how do you protect ourselves with taking care of our mind and our bodies through the way of naturopathy?
Okay. Main things what we have to do in our daily life is proper sleep, that 7 to 8 hours of continuous sleep, and food on time, and cleansing procedures, like the toxins have to be removed from our body, then proper sunlight and rest. So all these things, if we are following in our, and too much eating, we have to avoid too much eating, because due to our lifestyle, some people are not eating on time. Some people, they eat even if they are not hungry also. So according to yoga, we say, Ega bhuktam yogi, dua bhuktam bogi, tri bhuktam yogi. So when we eat a lot, we are becoming more and more sick. So moderation in everything, like even in a sleep or everything, moderation should be there.
That's such a beautiful answer. Another question, what I want to ask you, I'm not going to leave you very soon, Dr. Pratibha. I'm going to ask you a few more questions. Just one more question, which is very, very prevalent. Everyone says that I love rice. Especially in the Arab community, they love the rice. Right? Indians, we all love rice. And is there any alternative for us to use in terms of naturopathy instead of rice? People say like you can have millets and other kinds of grains. So could you please share some light on that from your point of view?
We say we have to eat well-balanced diet, not just protein diet or high fiber diet. There should be a carbohydrate in small portion. There should be protein. There should be fiber. There should be fat, and a portion empty space. So if we eat in a balanced, well-balanced way, that is not abnormal. That is normal. You will not end up with any deficiencies. If you are eating excess of carbohydrate, either in the form of potato or rice or chapati or whatever it is, that should be in a moderation. And the other part, the fiber and water, all those things should be in a well-balanced constitution, proportions. So then the intake and input and output should be equal. So if you are eating, that much calories also should be burned, and depends upon a person's work, the food intake should be. Not a sedentary lifestyle person doesn't need much of carbohydrates. So he can eat less carbohydrates, and person who is working outside, like in a heavy physically exertion jobs, they have to eat more carbohydrates. So what I suggest is they have to eat rice or chapati, whatever in moderation, and more leafy vegetables, which is a natural scrubber for our intestine to cleanse our system. And include more smoothies and more leafy vegetables so that we can control our hunger. And same time, that is a natural detox also, high fiber diet, like green leafy vegetables or fruits. Those are natural cleansers.
Amazing. And that comes to a point, balance is the key in everything in our life, either it's food or your relationship and the way you interact with people. Everywhere, moderation, balance, and being neutral with everything is the key, as I understand. And now it comes to a point, I want to ask you something about fasting. How is it important in your life, and how frequently should one fast? Fasting, if you could share some light on fasting.
Okay. There is so much difference between fasting and hunger. That is voluntary abstinence from the food is fasting. And hunger means we are not getting, we are starving, starvation. Okay. So starvation means we are hungry and we are not getting food from anywhere. So that is starvation, and fasting is voluntary abstinence. So in that condition, we are not craving for the food. Mentally and physically, we are prepared to fast. And in the beginning of the fasting, it should be either water fasting or juice fasting. Even if it's religious fasting, it can be dry fasting. And the breaking of the fasting should be very, very careful. Should not eat heavy food when you break the fast. It should be with some juices. And then slowly you have to go to the soothing diet, which helps to soothe our system. Then you have to go to the constructive diet, which helps in the building up of tissue. So once in a week time, or at least weekly once, if you do the purification by natural fasting or cleansing method, that's very good for the body. If possible, like for example, if people are going for any get together and if they are eating a heavy food, so next day, if they want, I'm telling about Weight Watchers, they can do the cleanse next day so that they can balance the calories what they have taken excess. So if they are doing fasting naturally, their body is eliminating the toxins from the body.
Does it affect our immunity in any way by doing short-term and long-term fasting?
Yes, fasting helps to improve all the, because it is cleansing our liver. It is giving rest for our digestive tract, because all other time our digestive tract, mostly it is working hard to digest the food which we have taken. So when we give rest during fasting, the body is getting more time to eliminate the toxins from the body. When the toxins are gone out, automatically our immune power increase, and all the systems start functioning properly in a rhythmic way.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pratibha, for these profound words. As you said correctly, there are two major systems in our body. Like, one is like really taking care of our body with the fight and flight and the immunity mechanism, and one is digestion. So we're always consuming food, too much of food. Our body is completely in the process of actually digesting the food, and all the concentration goes on that. So if you give a break a little bit with fasting, so that the body has got some rest, so that you can take care of the other functions of the body. Thank you so much. And I mean, I've caught you off guard, but thank you so much for really being patient in answering all the questions. And once again, appreciate it and thank you for your time. We will connect again tomorrow live, introducing Yogic Kids with Mr. Abu Al Khair. We will also look at how can children be happy for no reason, unconditionally be happy. So there's going to be a very, very interesting information for the parents tomorrow. And our special guest who will join us tomorrow will be Mr. Khalid Al Naki. Thank you. Namaste. See you all tomorrow. Same time, same life. And now let's conclude the evening with a prayer. Namaste.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let's all be happy. Let's all be healthy. Let's all see good in others. Let no one suffer from unhappiness. Om peace.